Hi everyone, Chillax here and welcome back to another Anchor Panic video. So I'm currently on the test server where version 2.4 went live about maybe 2 to 3 hours ago, and I want to give a huge shout out to the Anchor Panic dev team for giving me early access to show you guys everything that you can look forward to when version 2.4 drops for the global servers next Thursday on May 28th. Now please keep in mind that this is still within the testing debugging phase, so everything that I show you today is subject to change, so please keep that in mind. We will go over everything you need to know about this update, such as the new skins, the new operators, the rerun operators, what Yunzhuan does, how to build her, and of course doing a live showcase. And we will show you some skins as well in case you guys decide to support the game and kind of bedazzle your operators in new outfits. So without further ado, let's begin. Now Yunzhuan is going to make her very first appearance for this version 2.4, which will last for 3 weeks from May 28th, so in about 5 days, to June 17th. Now Yunzhuan, I've been playing on my GP free-to-play server account for about a week and a half now, and I've been very satisfied with her performance. The great thing about Yunzhuan, which will make free-to-play players very happy, is that one copy of Yunzhuan as well as one copy of her signature Sigil will pretty much give you 90% of the value you need from her. The reason I say this is because the most important thing from her signature Sigil is being able to energy burst on round 1. This is 100% guaranteed because they automatically just give you 50% pre-filled energy, and then you get the other 50% from her casting a skill, and then she energy bursts. Now, the incentive to duping or getting multiple copies of her Sigil is that you increase the rate at which you gain stacks of hexagram, which is a unique stack which I'll talk about later. This will accelerate the frequency with which she interrupts the opponent, essentially keeping them from casting their skill, which thus prevents them from gaining energy to cast their energy burst. However, even if you max dupe the Sigil, you only increase the chance of getting that one extra stack by 30%, and the only other benefit is getting 3% extra HP every time you activate a floating diagram, which I'll go over all of this later, but all of which to say that even as a whale, you can just have one copy of her Sigil, and that's fine. And for free-to-play players, you're not missing out on anything by not getting her Ascension 3. Her Ascension 3, we'll go over it. It gives you another tool within your toolkit to do extra things, but it's not an important part of her kit. Now, if you are a low spender or whale who wishes to support the game, then I do think that A4 or A6 are excellent stopping points. This allows you to get the most of the benefit from Ascensions, as well as getting the level 2 for her talent 2, which is kind of important. And then of course Ascension 6 allows her to get the valuable defense and HP bonuses, which is very valuable for a defender. Now, in addition to Yunzhuan, we are getting the very first rerun, a Frost Knight Dawn, who, if you've watched my latest tier list, you would know that she's triple S tier, not only the best breaker in the game, but also one of the highest damaging DPSs in the game. Not to mention, she can shred the defenses of certain enemies with her lock-on ability, enhancing the overall damage output of your team across all game modes, notably PvE. So if you are a brand new player, or if you somehow missed her first run, then I would actually highly recommend you secure one copy of Frost Knight Dawn and her signature Sigil before you secure one copy of Yunzhuan and her signature Sigil. And if you are a new player, this is one of the best times to join Anchor Panic and start playing it, because you are getting two of basically the best breaker and probably the best defender in the game. And these both are limited time operators, which means that once these two operators banner end on June 17th, you won't be able to summon for them or even fail pity to them again until probably 4 months from now. So just keep that in mind. Now, in addition to these two operators, if you do decide to support the game, there are 3 different skins that you can acquire, 2 Battle Pass skins as well as 1 other skin. This is one of Yunzhuan skins. It's called Dream Lullaby. This one caught my attention a lot because it's a very beautiful Chinese New Year themed outfit that... respectfully looking, holy smokes. And the illustration, oh my god, guys, this got heavily censored on the CN. I think they took away the red envelope and added a lot more clothing, but oh my god, the angles. Yeah, it's very I love this skin so much. Yeah, so I'll definitely be picking this up for my account when it rolls around. And in addition to that Dream Lullaby skin, we also have the Sweating Secretary skin, which is the second skin, or maybe the third skin at this point to be released for Frost Night Dawn. So it's kind of glitching right now, but this is going to be the illustration of the Frost Night Dawn, the Secretary version. We've had a few Secretary version of the skins in the past. So if you're, say like you got the Secretary skin of Turn and you're running Turn with Frost Night Dawn, maybe you want to complement with this skin. Yeah, just an idea. But the Sweating Secretary, oh my god, approve. And then there's one more skin that you can acquire, which is another Yunzhuan skin. So this, by the way, is her default skin, which looks really good. I think that if you are a free-to-play player, you are probably going to be very happy with this default skin. And then you have the Chinese New Year skin, the Dream Lullaby, if you choose to get this one. And this is the alternate. I personally like this one more. And then there is a Bunny Jade Rabbit's Divination skin. Oh my god. Holy smokes. Yeah, respectfully looking. So if you're trying to build your Bunny skin collection for your account, then this is going to be what you'll do. I think that I like the original more. And this is going to be the static version of her splash art. Yeah. All right, and I think that's all the skins that I saw. Now, let me see if I can get the 3D model to work. I guess it's still not working. Okay, so she's had 2 skins. It's too bad this one isn't getting a rerun because personally I think this one is better. But, I mean, not many people are going to get this skin, so if you want like a really unique looking Frost Night Dawn, then this makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to now talk about Yunzhuan's overall kit. So Yunzhuan is a focus opposite physical defender whose entire kit revolves around 2 different things. One is the floating diagram, which allows you to interrupt the opponent, and then one is the hexagram, and you need 6 hexagrams to create one floating diagram. So yeah, floating diagram is essentially what you want, and she will get a floating diagram each time she acts, maximum 2 stacks. When an enemy acts and uses a skill attack, Yunzhuan will consume a floating diagram to interrupt the enemy's battle flow and applies 1 stack of talisman art to them. This is a debuff that will last 2 turns that decreases the enemy's attack by 9% up to 2 stacks. Each time floating diagram is activated, Yunzhuan's elemental resistance increases by 5%, lasting until the end of battle, max 5 stacks. So she can get up to 25% elemental resistance at Ascension 4. Yeah, and at level 1, if you want to know the numbers, I think it's like 4%. Yeah, it's most likely 4%. So pretty good talent 1, I do have to say. And then for talent 2, Fortune Blessing, Yunzhuan's max HP increases by 10% at level 1. When hit by a skill attack, Yunzhuan has I believe this was a 60% chance to gain 1 stack of hexagram, max 6 stacks. At max stacks, hexagram converts into 1 stack of floating diagram, cannot convert while floating diagram exists. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So her talent 2 is just basically gives her extra HP and gives her a way to eventually get to another floating diagram. And you can hold up to 2 floating diagrams, which are essentially 2 skill interrupts. Okay. Now for her attack, it's pretty standard. And then her skill is an AoE shield called Cloud Cover. This shield value is equal to 12% of Yunzhuan's max HP. So that's important because her kit scales off of HP. So that's important to emphasize. Lasting for 2 turns, max 2 stacks. While shielded, excess healing received by the target converts into Cloud Cover's shield value. So this is actually, I think, one of the only shields out there. It might be the only shield in the game right now, where if you overheal, it makes the shield stronger. So this is a way to add further survivability while making sure that no overheals go to waste, if you will. And then her energy burst, Yunzhuan invokes Primordial Array, granting all allies 25% block rate and 1 stack of Cloud Cover for 2 turns. Cloud Cover was the shield, the unique shield from her skill. While the array is active, allies have a 26% chance upon being hit by skills to grant Yunzhuan 1 stack of hexagram. Additionally, Yunzhuan gains 1 stack of hexagram at the end of each turn. So this is a way to accelerate her 2 stacks of floating diagram to really interrupt the opponent pretty much every round. Yeah, so this makes Yunzhuan a very unique defender who's capable of keeping your team alive. And I don't know if I emphasized this, but the 25% block rate, I don't know any other defender or even any other support who provides block rate on your party, let alone this much block rate. And this is, I know this is level 11, because from her Ascension, I forget, I think Ascension 6 maybe, but at level 10, this is still like a 2.5% block rate, or maybe like 23.5, still quite a significant number. Yeah, and we'll touch more on that later. Now for her Ascensions, her Ascension 3 at the start of each turn, Yunzhuan will activate Divination once based on her current HP. Now this is something that you will only get if you have her Ascension 3 or 6. So if her HP is above 50%, she will enter the Crimson Sun state at the start of the round. Otherwise, she will enter the Lunar Shadow, where her HP is equal to or less than 50%. In the Crimson Sun state, where she's very healthy, when hit by a skill, she will deal true damage equal to 5% of her max HP back onto the attacker. And then in the Lunar Shadow state, when hit by a skill attack, generates a shield for all allies, equal to 4% of her max HP, max 2 stacks, lasting 1 turn. Yeah, so if she's healthy, she's going to deal extra damage onto the enemy, true damage, so it completely bypasses their defenses. And then when her HP dips in the red, then she will provide a shield for everyone, including herself. So both modes are quite useful. And then for Ascension 6, it basically increases the true damage to 10% of her max HP instead of 5. And then the shield will be 8% of her max HP instead of 4. So essentially the number doubles. Okay, and then for the Stellaron, in case you're interested, personally, let me see here, let's scout ahead. So defense, HP, skill, attack, defense, speed, damage reduction. Okay, HP, block chance, HP, effect res. Now, I would say that if you are a free-to-play or a low spender and you really value her in PvP, I probably would take the right route first, because remember what I mentioned, her kit scales off of HP. so HP and HP. Not to mention the additional block chance will bring her block chance with a 4-piece block chance model set to almost 70%. And block chance, when it triggers, cuts damage in half. Yeah. And then, so the combination of this plus effect resistance, which is very powerful, by the way, this gives her the ability to resist crowd control. And that this effect res, I don't think there's many ways to get this. So yeah, the right path makes a lot of sense. But the left path is nice, of course, because you get the extra defense, the extra speed. Now, Yunzhuan is one of those defenders who you actually want a bit faster, because you get 1 stack of floating diagram when she acts. So if she can act early, get that floating diagram, that way the first enemy that hits you, like say a Lang Jiao, like a round 1 energy bursting Lang Jiao, you can interrupt that, right? Because even when they get 50% pre-filled energy from the mind body, you interrupt her skills, so she doesn't get the other pre-filled energy to actually energy burst on round 1. So when you see my builds later, you will see that I put a lot of emphasis into speed. Yeah, so this could make a lot of sense if you care about that angle of PvP. And 9.4% damage reduction, of course, is insane. So this will dramatically improve her survivability. Both sides are pretty good. Okay, and then going over her signature Sigil, once you get it to level 80, it will have 18% base HP, and then 15% crit damage resistance, kind of like Kriyanka. And when you clip by Yunzhuan, gains 50% energy recharge on the first turn. So she essentially can energy burst on round 1 so long as she gets her skill off. When using skills, she has a 50% chance to gain 2 stacks of hexagram, otherwise gains 1 stack. Each time floating diagram is activated, her max HP increases by 5%, lasting until the battle ends, max 5 stacks. We've gone over this already. Okay, so now let's go over her builds, starting with the signature Sigil. So you'll notice here that I aimed for speed, HP, defense. There's also merit to go instead of speed, you go shield enhance, right? Because her unique shield cloud cover would benefit from shield enhance. But personally, I find a lot more value in getting a floating diagram as quickly as possible to start interrupting the opponent. I think that's far more valuable than a little bit chunkier of a shield. So I would personally recommend speed, HP, and defense bonus. This to me is a no-brainer, but if you roll into shield enhance and are out of empower nuclei, then I think it's okay to settle for shield enhance until you get more to reroll out of. Yes, and then as for the model set, I was kind of debating which one to go with. I personally think that 4-piece block chance and 2-piece HP is the best, especially given that her energy burst already gives at least 25% block chance to the entire party. So when you add 25% block chance to the 12% from the base, plus another 6 times 5 extra 30% from a 4-piece, that's 30, 42, 42 plus 25, 57. And then if you Stellaron the right side, then you get an extra, what did we say, 12.5. So you get like 70.5% or 71% block chance on Yunzhuan. And this makes her essentially going to cut almost all the incoming damage by half. So this will make her really tanky. And then for remodel effects, she benefits from a ton of different stat lines. Personally, I think that you want to maximize the more premium stat lines like speed 6 out of 6, shield enhance 5 out of 5, block chance 5 out of 5, and whatever the RNG gives you, if it gives you more base HP and more HP, more power to you. But if it lands into defense, that's not the end of the world. That can also be quite valuable. Yeah, so this is kind of an example of what a good remodel effect stat line looks like. And then you'll go speed, base HP, and HP, because like I mentioned before, her kit, specifically her cloud cover, as well as her reflect damage from her Ascension 3 and 6, scales off of her HP. Okay, so now that we've gone over that, let me just briefly go over the event page before we dive into the live showcase. So, as per tradition, we have a 10-day login, as we can expect summon tickets as well as sigil tickets. And then whenever you spend stamina, you're going to get these coins, which you can exchange in the garden shop for summon tickets, unique resources, really valuable resources, mind body materials, and limited time decorations. Looks like they have a disco theme going on, so you definitely want to snag this decoration set if you care about that, making your base look nice. Yeah, so nothing really mind-blowing there. And then we have a Chinese New Year themed Yunzhuan event storyline. And these are always nice to have because you learn more about Yunzhuan as well as some of the other characters in Chinese New Year. Because Yunzhuan was released during Chinese New Year 2 years ago on the CN server, if memory serves me right. It was 1 or 2 years ago. And then for the side game mode here, let's check it out. Whoa, what is this? Oh. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, so you're trying to make the ball hit the same color. This is funny. Yeah, so that's a mini game that you can enjoy if you want to get some more crystal ashes. That's actually pretty funny. Okay, so that's the game mode there. Okay, let's go ahead and showcase Yunzhuan live. So I'm going to go to the main storyline here. Now, to avoid killing the opponent too quickly, I'm just going to run Yunzhuan, Frost Jade as a healer, and Frost Knight Dawn. That way, for those of you guys who don't have Frost Knight Dawn either, you can see how she works. But let's get right into it. I'm going to focus more on what Yunzhuan is doing. Alright, here we go. Okay, so this buff right here is from her Ascension 6 and 3, where she enters like the, what did we say, the sun state or whatever. Okay, and now she gets one of these from acting. She energy bursted on round 1. Now when she gets hit, oh, okay, here's the interrupt. And notice this debuff right here, so that, and then, oh, another interrupt already. Ooh, how are we interrupting so quickly? Oh, I've never seen this move that much. Okay, and we're at 5 hexagram stacks. So one more and we should get another one of the interrupts. Okay. So notice how this is blank, right? It's white. Okay, now we have one. So the next time she gets hit, she's going to get interrupt. Boom. And then it goes back to white ghost again. But we gained one again because we consumed 6, because we were at 5 earlier. I know it went by really fast, but we converted 6 hexagrams to another diagram. That's why we have one floating right now. So this is actually a very good visual, so we should interrupt if they cast a skill. Yeah, they have to cast a skill for it to happen. And not all mobs cast... Okay, there we go. Yeah, so in a PvP situation, you would see that activate right away for pretty much any operator who is moving. But in a PvE game mode, only unique mobs will have skills as part of their kit to activate Yunzhuan's the floating diagram. Yeah. So as you can imagine, it's even at 1 copy of her signature sigil, and 1 copy of Yunzhuan, look at how reliable it is to interrupt, right? I did notice this on my free-to-play account, JP server account. I felt as though I had everything I needed for Yunzhuan. So I'm very happy with her overall skill set. I think the only thing that is left to be desired is just her viability in PvE content. In Union Siege, I think she will be quite valuable. But I think from an Entropy Cataclysm perspective, she doesn't really offer anything that will enhance your damage output. However, if you are having major survival issues, like let's say you're a brand new player and you have to have a defender in the center of your team in order to tank all the attacks from the giant robo fox lady, then Yunzhuan is going to be one of the best defenders for that. So anyways, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I hope you found it informative. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of her, whether or not you will summon for her, or maybe save your tickets for a future operator. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.